Hi everyone, this is Jacob. Before we get into the finale of Uncharted 3, I want to give everybody a little behind-the-scenes info and quick PSA on this series and upcoming subsequent playthroughs and stuff like that. If you've watched update videos we put out like a year ago now, or whenever the heck it was that we did all this stuff, you may already know some of this, but just to give a quick rundown, part of the reason that this took so long to come out is because we had really significant technical issues with the Uncharted 4 playthrough in particular, and amongst other things in my life, all of that happening just kind of disheartened me a little bit on working on any of this in the first place, because the faster I worked on Uncharted 3, the faster I was just going to have to fix stuff that went wrong with Uncharted 4. Short version is we lost not a huge percentage of the game, but we lost a couple of hours of the actual game footage during the recording process for that. That is going to contribute to Uncharted 4 probably taking a little while to come out. Don't expect it to get started immediately after the Uncharted 3 playthrough wraps up, which is now. You're watching the final episode. This episode is going to be a little bit lengthy because we've got about 40-ish minutes of wrapping up the game, but then we got another really long chunk of us, finishing looking at concept art. I've got a bunch of videos of glitches and stuff like that I experienced when I was doing playthroughs beforehand that I share, and just a lot of discussion of the game. We talk for quite a while about our feelings on this one, because Uncharted 3 is it's interesting. Ooh, it's interesting. So Uncharted 4 won't be getting started for a while. When it does get started, I'm hoping it'll release alongside, a new Let's Play. I'm hoping to get another series started around the same time that Uncharted 4 starts. Going to be implementing a slightly different production style on it that is going to hopefully reduce the chances of things going wrong and just make everything easier for me on the back end, since it takes me so damn long to do these things normally. But anyway, we are going to keep doing stuff here on research runs, obviously, in the intervening time, but it's probably going to be streams and research rambles and stuff for a little while I get Uncharted 4 and the other playthrough that I'm not going to name right now, while I get everything situated for those. It's probably going to be a couple of months before they get started up properly. But anyway, yeah, that's at least part of why, in addition to just my life being very busy, that's part of why it's taken us so long to release these playthroughs, even though we shot Uncharted 3 and 4 last spring and summer, basically. It's going to take a little while longer for Uncharted 4 to come out, but hey, guess what? Uncharted 3's finale is right here. You're already watching it, so please enjoy. I'll let Joey finish doing that because I can't sync to knuckle cracks.
My skeleton's always trying to break out and I have to put it back in its place. I can't let my skeleton think it's got any ounce of control over me.
That's why you're constantly cracking your knuckles and literally... I don't know how you even do that one. You stick both your arms out, and then you just kind of twist them at the elbows.
It's the elbows that pop.
You pop your elbows. Yeah. What's wrong with you?
My elbows don't pop. Most of me pops, but the chiropractor has to pop my elbows.
See, I think I've mentioned it before, but I used to be able to really pop my right shoulder, and one day it popped real loud and hurt real bad, and I've never been able to do it since then.
Yikes.
And I've asked my chiropractor about it, and he just didn't care, and I don't go to my chiropractor anymore.
I haven't seen a chiropractor in years. I probably need to.
I don't know, man. I kind of got my mind blown when I found out it's about the closest thing to accepted pseudoscience, where there's not a whole lot of evidence to support that.
Well, no, I don't even have anything super messed up about my back. Just to see once every now and then to get some of the work. And mainly like last time around, I actually got some kind of I was going to get into some personal information. I guess it's not really important, but basically I ignored some advice I got last time, and I regret it.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, I guess I didn't ignore it.
At least you got it,
work hard enough.
I was like, hey, I have this issue. And he's like, okay, well, we'll just run the normal routine. I was like, I don't need to be concerned about any of this. Maybe ask your doctor about it. It's like, okay, but it's my back and bone stuff, so I thought you would have an inkling.
You might have an opinion. So you're kind of your field. I guess not. Okay.
Yeah, when I told a friend that my chiropractor took x-rays before they started adjusting me, they were like, x-ray?
At least mine did that.
Let's be very clear about something. Since probably I'm going to say like 5 or 6 months after meeting Aiden, I was like, Aiden, you need to see a chiropractor. And she said, no, I'm fine. No, I don't want people to touch me. Whatever. A year and a half ago, she goes to a chiropractor. Yeah, my spine is completely unaligned and bends the wrong direction.
No. It's not my spine. Well, I guess my neck is
your
my
neck
spine.
is your
but
spine.
But it's not like my back. They were like, have you been in a car accident recently? And I was like, I think when I finally caved and went to a chiropractor, I had actually been in a...
Yeah, but your neck wasn't messed up because of the car accident.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't.
Anyway.
That was also, I should have said, going down these stairs, that's one of those sequences where it's like, I don't mind there was no music there.
And I like...
And you were starting to say, this is, something about to happen, we're going somewhere. So we are now clearly all the way under Ubar.
That's a lot of water for a desert.
This is the fresh water supply that allowed the city to survive. Though, that being said, is the whole city built on top of this? That doesn't seem,
super stable.
Structurally sound. No, not really.
I mean, we don't know how much these people knew.
It's fine.
We also don't know how they created weather controlling technology.
Don't worry about it.
It literally looks like, I don't know how much you've seen of Cowboy Bebop, either of you. The cities that are established on planets that don't have Earth-like, well, the only planet that it has an Earth-like atmosphere in Cowboy Bebop is Earth. They have to artificially create atmospheres. Mm-hmm. But, like, the cities on Mars have these massive, like, artificial atmosphere generation, like, wall. Like, it's not a dome, it's just a wall around them that puts off this constant, like, sea of mist or fog that I assume is it's, like, condensating something or creating oxygen. I don't know, because they never, like, the lore of Bebop was never explained. Yeah. But, like, it looks like Ubar does in this. Mm-hmm. They modeled the ancient city in the Rubal Khali after cities from Cowboy Bebop on Mars.
It looks good.
I will pop that real quick.
Easy cup.
Cup from Ur.
Not from Ubar, though. Because they're still sourcing, again, I think they're still sourcing mostly historical stuff. Or stuff that's like in museums or photos and stuff you can find. Is it?
Like right, I can't run like right there. Where did all of these guys come from? We just like took a minute.
Is there any reason that they killed Sully, but then he just gassed us and didn't kill us?
I wouldn't worry about it too much, honestly.
Is to make you suffer, Mr. Drake.
Why are we still... Well, I was about to say, why are we still here just to suffer? And then I remembered I still have not revealed that Talbot is voiced by Robert Atkin Downs.
Oh my god.
That's the Robert Atkin Downs for this game. He's got to be in there somewhere. Oh, yeah. Navarro in the first game. Mocap Tenzin in the second game. And then he's Talbot in this game.
Okay. It's been long enough.
Boy!
That first shot to have knocked him back like it did. The rest of them sure didn't do anything.
Anyway. I have gone, because I've scrutinized the footage of, like, is it really that much worse in this game? I have gone back, and the armored guys in 2 don't respond a ton more, like, flinching-wise than the enemies, like, the armored guys in this game do. However, what they do is almost every single time you shoot them, there is much more clear fragmentation of their armor.
Okay.
So you still get that sense of impact.
A sniper. I do quite like that. Now,
thank God the grenade launcher landed right in front of me instead of falling out the window. That would have been a real tragedy. Okay, hold on. Where'd that... Oh, it fell down a hole behind me. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Now, let's see.
And the thing I said about the music earlier, now's about the time where music needs to start kicking back on.
No, I feel like this is okay. We're still, like, in the... We just came out of that really heavy sequence, and now we're in whatever the hell this is, and...
Yeah, but he's like, okay, it's playtime. It's like he's about to... He's in rage-induced gamer mode.
No, I don't disagree. There's just spots where it's like, well, it really does feel like it's like such a consistent part of the presentation, and then it just stops sometimes, and it doesn't always feel like thematically, tonally, or like pacing significant. It's a bit odd. This one is one of the only ones in the game that I really don't mind and don't think about when the music just kind of stops. I feel like I didn't kill the armored guy. Maybe I'm mistaken.
I think you did. I think you got it.
I'm gonna hope that I got them all, and I'm just gonna walk forward. How about that, huh? Oh. Hello. Okay. Guess we got some friendly fire over here? I mean, so far, the rocket launcher guys either hit nothing or hit me point blank, and there's no in-between. Hitting their friends doesn't happen that frequently.
I was gonna say, that's not a...
Sully?
And you, kid?
Yay!
thank God. You all right? Man, I had a hell of a time. What's the matter with you?
How do I know you're real? Ow!
That real enough for you? Don't ever point a gun at me again.
I saw them shoot you. Right after the eclipse.
What? What eclipse? Look, kid, you went nuts right after you drank from that fountain.
I told you!
It's the water.
I
That's
told
what
you.
destroyed the city. Not the wrath of God. The whole water supply is tainted with some sort of hallucinogenic agent. Must have drove everyone
You
mad.
finally got your hallucination magic, Joey. You
There
tried to
we go.
predict in the first game.
Oh, man, yeah. Remember, Cutter said they controlled their enemies through fear. This'll do it. In spades.
I don't know. They already had pretty good drug use.
Yeah.
Maybe
It
their
doesn't
drugs
make
are
any
really
sense.
expensive. Yeah, I agree, Sully. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, it's not the water. It's what's in the water.
Come again?
Listen, just bear with me for a sec. Salim told me that Aram was cursed when Solomon imprisoned the evil spirits of the jinn inside a vessel of brass and then cast it into the depths of the city.
A genie in a bottle.
I know, it sounds pretty crazy.
So you reckon that's why Elizabeth and Dee sent Francis Drake out here in the first place?
Yeah. It wasn't treasure they were after. It was power. Only once Drake realized what he'd been sent for, he abandoned the mission. He lied to the Queen, told her he didn't find anything, and then hid all traces of his voyage. Rewrote history.
Well, who are we to argue with Sir Francis? When you say we head down there and end this thing? Once and for all.
Okay.
So now that we've gotten to it and we now know what was happening with Nate there, a couple more things that I kind of want to say about the sequencing of this ending. I really would have liked if we rolled in with Solomon and his whole crew for the attack on the outside. We got through the front gate. We all came in together. And then when we stopped and drank from the water, some of us drank from it. Nate went nuts and ran off and had his whole gin sequence. And Sully came after Nate, and Solomon and his men went after the handful of his men that that drank.
Yes.
So we don't see them for the rest of the finale, so it's just Nate and Sully. But I really, really wish they had those epic shots and the amazing music after the chase sequence of us riding through the desert,
yeah.
the whole crew on horses, and then they just vanish, like between cuts. And it's really weird.
Yeah.
So another thing, again, so that's also why you don't get to fight the Jinn very much in this game, because unlike the Slippery Naked Men and the Yetis, they weren't real.
Not real.
Which is a real shame. It's not a shame in terms of storytelling, necessarily. It's just a shame in terms of combat design. I haven't talked about this multiplayer stuff much. In the multiplayer for 3, there was there were like, you could get points in match to spend on like whatever your like special was. It was like spawn a grenade launcher and spawn a double-barreled shotgun, spawn a T-bolt sniper. You could do some weirder special or things. One of the moves, Joe, you've talked about how much you love BB-8 and Battlefront 2.
Yes.
And you've seen, obviously, people in Battlefront 2 scuttling around as General Grievous, just like charging through people. So Uncharted 3 had a version of that where you could turn into a swarm of spiders. You just instantaneously you're just boop, you are spiders now. And you can just scuttle over stuff and take people out. So that doesn't exist in 4. But in 4, you can turn into a Jinn. And your dodge roll turns into a warp.
That's cool.
And it lasts for like 15 seconds, but if you upgrade it, it gets like an extra second or whatever time you kill somebody or something like that. But anyway, so there's a couple of reasons that there's a lot, again, just this whole game is a real mixed bag of cool things and not so cool things. First game, oh wow, El Dorado was cursed, but not really, it wasn't actually magic. It was just some kind of weird parasites, and somebody wanted to use it to weaponize it. It wasn't even the normal Indiana Jones thing of the magic kills the bad guys. One of the bad guys knew what he was getting into and explicitly wanted to weaponize it, right? Game 2, it wasn't a raw sapphire, it was It was actually Juggernaut Jew. It was Chug Jug.
Yep.
He was a Chug Jug. I now know what that is. And Joshua and I were talking about that, and we were saying, I wish we'd made that joke in the Uncharted 2 LP. Because now I understand what it is. You explained to me what it was, remember, because we had that conversation in 2 about how I had asked, is it dirty?
Yeah, because we were talking about the Fortnite song.
Anyway, but, and it was, Lazarevich was trying to weaponize it, and we gotta stop him, and now for the second game, most people didn't even play the first. So, Lazarevich is trying to weaponize, the Chintamani Stone wasn't even the thing, it was the sap, the Tree of Life. What a twist! We're 2 games from some perspectives, 3 games deep from some perspectives on, it wasn't treasure, it was a weapon, the villains knew all along, and they're trying to get it from, and use, and like, okay, you got something new? And the formula is starting to wear thin here. This guy died having a good time.
He was.
I don't know what he was tripping about. But he got into that cart,
those hookahs.
And he thought he was going... Well, presumably, the reason I pointed out all those people died in a bathhouse at the ending of the last episode...
Oh, the water!
Yeah. Right? That's my phone with an alarm that isn't relevant to us right now. Whee! What is that? That was spooky looking. That's a weird visual element for your elevator.
This is gonna get hairy. You ready for this?
It's going to get real bad because we're going to get down there and there's going to be an ancient, like a humidifier, and it's going to be hallucinogenic water gas.
Nate, that was like freaking Cole Phelps getting clotheslined and doing his fall off a building scream.
Good God. Look at the ceiling here.
I'm surprised the whole place hasn't come crashing down yet.
I don't know how the hell it's still standing.
We'll take care of it.
Don't worry, Sully. Here, let me just get started. Let me start making a dent in that right now.
God, even the grenade launcher has the weird.
Why?
waving.
Yeah, why is it like that? What does that mean?
I told you it's so you can curve them. I told you what it means.
It's the game's almost over and Angelina Jolie isn't here yet.
Give it time.
Morgan Freeman isn't here yet.
We gotta hallucinate one more time and she'll show up.
We're gonna get to the end of the game, and that lady is going to have escaped, and we're gonna cut to her, and she's gonna say something witty towards the camera, and then go, "Oh fuck!" And then you see a bullet burst through her head, and then Nathan Drake's gonna be there with a sniper, and he's gonna be like, "So what the f did you do with your day?" I have never forgiven Wanted. I watched it like a decade after it came out, and I still haven't forgiven it.
Shit, get down!
Sully, what? Huh? Nate, what? Huh?
It's the snake. The snake's gonna get you.
That's the basilisk. I'm gonna shoot this guy in the knee. He's not gonna care?
This isn't Resident Evil.
There he goes. He died that time. It isn't Resident Evil. I said this before, I think, in this playthrough. This is something that the Uncharted games in general don't really have strong until, like, kind of the 4th game, which is their reload animations are mostly just kind of weak. They're not really exciting. 4 has better ones. But I saw somebody posting GIFs of the freaking reload animations from Resident Evil 4, and it's like, this is pornographic. They didn't say that. I thought it. It's like you know those GIFs that came out right before Resident Evil 2 release of like, here's Ellie like sitting down at a workbench and like and it's like this is incredible, these animations. No, you just drop that grenade and kill yourself. Thank you. Did he kill that guy too? Nope, but I'll kill him. Now, there's a tile sniper here, and both of those guys had tile snipers, and we still got our grenade launcher. So I am really just we're gonna have a good time with these guys.
See, there is a problem in video games when you have really good reload animations.
Maybe not, never mind.
Because when you have really good reload animations, it really reinforces the problem I have, which is fire 2 bullets and reload. Because it then rewards me for bad behavior.
All right, all clear.
I guess
Down this way.
it's clear.
No, that was a simple one. It's kind of leading up to the part that's kind of a bit of an asshole. This part's manageable, it's just got a few annoying bits. So the encounter doesn't start until you walk out here, but if you walk out there, you will get wrecked by the guy with the grenade launcher who walks out over out there. But anyway, let's just go ahead and Anyway.
Wow, only 3 that time.
I think I knocked off his helmet, so that got him.
Grenade!
Now
Sully's just invincible.
Sully is invincible. He does not care about the grenades. He's not going to do it here. I have the share clip of it. Sully once just ran out here, and there's another guy over here behind cover. I just saw Sully once run out there and run over and fist fight him and snap his neck, just on his own, unprompted. He just decided he had had enough.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, so now the enemies are gone. Until
I was
you walk...
just waiting for one more enemy to come
Same.
out.
So the second you walk out that door or onto this bridge, oh no, okay, hold on. They actually do appear slightly earlier, but if you walk at a normal speed towards going onto that bridge, they will appear like just in time to both climb over and just one-shot you, and you just can't do anything about it. Okay, let's not let that guy kill me.
Oh,
Nice,
alright.
nice.
I'm doing this pretty clean, actually. That was clean. Oh, almost. That was all of them. Good. All right, sweet.
Oh my gosh.
That bit's annoying. Took care of it. We're good.
We have
May
entered
wanna
pro
grab that.
gamer
I was gonna
mode.
say, might want to grab that Mac since you're just completely out.
Yeah, I'm doing all right, actually, now that we're here. I don't know. We've really been split pretty much solely between just absolutely embarrassing gameplay and pro gamer mode. There has been no mediocre or average gameplay. I either suck or I'm, like, no-scoping everybody with sniper rifles.
Don't die.
Very good.
Anyway, you enjoy that.
That looks like something we should do something about that. Yeah. Gas masks.
I was just about to say, I'm like, if he tosses it into
Scuba
the water,
gear.
how are we getting it?
Sweet. I'm holding on to this.
What is that, Sully? Sully, what was that you just... Huh? Why is that sweet, Sully? You just picked up some other kind of gun that vanishes off your body so I can't get a good... What was... Sully, what? Anyway, they have scuba gear.
That stuff. I thought we were gonna get the scuba gear. I thought that was an underwater gun he got.
Sully, help me with this. We gotta get through here.
To fight the underwater djinn.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how these guys knew that it was a tainted water supply before they got here. They have a much better, like, I guess, chain of information than we do.
Maybe they're just prepared for all contingencies.
I prepare for every contingency. It's possible. But yeah, I'm not sure if we spend less time here than we did in Shambhala. Maybe it's just that this environment left, even though it's really cool, I think just since it was the second time I'd done something like this, it left a bit less of an impression on me. I do feel like we spend less time here. It's probably honestly about the same amount of time.
So,
Oh, look at this gunfight arena.
Yes, Aiden?
not to poke holes where they don't necessarily need to be poked.
Uh-huh.
But if the water supply is tainted, and if you drink it, you go crazy, and it's not good, and it's very, very bad. What did they drink while they were building the whole frickin' city?
It only happened after the city was
gonna
built.
say.
It only happened after the city was built.
Okay.
Because the game is telling you that Solomon...
The vessel of brass was cast into the city after its creation.
Okay, so originally the water was fine.
This place did quite well for itself for quite some time,
and
probably.
then the Christians f***ed it up. Gotcha.
Well, that would be, he was Jewish, actually, Aiden.
Ooh, uh-oh. What are you implying, Aiden? Hmm?
And he wasn't he wasn't very good at being Jewish. Yeah, that King Solomon. Anyway, yeah, so we can actually see kind of where we've gone through the level so far, the bits, because we can see where we first came down the spiral staircase, the area we walked through up to here, across where we met up with Sully, elevator down. This building that we came through over here, where we were commenting on how structurally unsound it looked, up into this building, across through here, down, and then that last little gunfight area we went to. It's just kind of fun that you can track the whole thing. And,
Yeah.
it seems like most of it's loaded in, because there's still guns reflecting over there as pick-upables.
Oh, I see.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it seems like a lot of it's being rendered in at once. Again, this game was really making the PS3 chug for all it was worth.
Chug jug.
Not that kind of chug.
That
Not-
kind of chug.
I really want to chug jug with you.
Don't ruin the end of the game, Joey.
You gotta be a pro Fortnite gamer, though.
Lift it gently.
Marlo, it's a crane. I hit the button. It winches it up. Stop being an asshole.
You gotta be kidding me.
They sure did this fast.
Gotta take that thing out. Any ideas?
Well, they sure as hell got us
There's the
outnumbered.
extra gun he's got. We can look at it behind his hand there.
Let's split up. Try to flank them.
Yeah, better odds that way.
It really did not take them long to find this.
No. It's almost like they kind of like knew already or something. I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? I mean, I do, and I'm gonna complain a lot once the credits start rolling.
Damn it, where is he? Sully! Sully!
Shoot him, Nathan.
No! Oh, you stupid!
We get to fight more Jen now.
As long as you don't drink any of it.
Osmosis
What about
is
the
a
people
thing.
in What about the people in the
goes-
bathhouse?
It
Don't worry
goes
about it.
through your skin.
Probably they were drowning. It was rather they were not drowning. They were probably like they were dehydrated. You know, they were dying of thirst. So they just went somewhere where there was water. They thought maybe the bath water isn't contaminated.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, what was that? Huh? Anyway, there it goes, back into the briny depths. Till sea swallows all. Huh?
What is that gun?
What is that
Can you
gun?
Get that for multiplayer?
No. I don't know what that gun is. I don't know where it came from.
It came from the weird box of scuba supplies.
Are we not going to get an explanation as to what was in the magical Solomon pot?
It was a hallucinogenic agent.
Okay.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Hey Joey, this game was made in 2 years.
Yeah.
And feels like it was made during a Writers Guild
What
strike.
the heck?
A nickel for every time you said that.
Keep them away from Marlowe! Everybody out! What's with these guys? Don't they know we're gonna get buried here?
Something tells me they don't care.
I sure as hell do. Oh my god, the city's collapsing! We have to get out of here!
Yes, you do.
So, I'll get into this in a minute. There's some. Well, I guess I'll just talk about this one thing right now. There's some weird, like, there's a lot of weird conflicting information in this game, where sometimes you feel like the game's trying to tell you something, but you're not sure. So you can hear Talbot shouting there, protect Marlowe, we have to get her out of here. Like, she's the most important thing, and Talbot's like, I'm willing to sacrifice whoever I have to get Marlowe out of here. Okay, sure. But then, and then they're like, and then Nate and Sully say, what's wrong with these guys? Can't they tell the city's collapsing? Something tells me they don't care. Then a second later, one of the NPCs goes, oh my god, the city's collapsing. We have to get out of here. So, are we supposed to believe that these guys are all religiously, zealously devoted to Marlowe? And to their weird hermetic society? Or is it just Talbot? Or who are these people?
They are the best guns for hire.
They're not. They're part of the secret hermetic society. The last time we saw the Guns for Hire was in the chateau in France.
I mean, what's the difference, right? Between Hermetic Society folks and Guns for Hire.
And British and thick lads.
Oh, so not all.
Why are they? What? Okay.
Not all of the elevators.
I
are
saw this
front
before.
blades.
Why is that animation like that? Why do they not? It's such a nitpick, but they grab it and walk back when it would be so much easier for both of them to just get on the opposite end and push.
Don't worry about it.
I am worrying. I wasn't worrying earlier when it happened once, but then it happened again, and now I'm mad about it.
Now I do like this. Once again, conceptually versus actually what happens. There's multiple ways you can see other clear climbable ledges.
Yeah.
There's multiple ways up this kind of tower. I like the idea of this is very different from either of the previous finales where we're climbing up out of something through this basically just a straight tower, right? Mm-hmm. As the city and trying to get out of this underground section before it can crumble down.
Mm-hmm. Oh! Ooh, somebody said hello to you. All right.
Could it have been the guy with the RPG over on that bridge?
Absolutely. Does it become more accurate as you fire?
I don't know. I have no idea. I seriously doubt it, but with the way this game works, it's possible, I suppose.
Because it's conflicting. The little circle gets smaller, but the big. See.
Yeah, I don't know
Big
what
circle goes.
I don't know
out.
what it means, Joey. And I don't know what any of the information means.
Okay.
After not thinking about this game, not analyzing its mechanics in much detail for a decade, I spent the last couple of months really scrutinizing this game's shooting mechanics, and the conclusion I've come to is I don't understand game bad.
Ooh.
I think we should lay down and take a nap. I think we should just kind of chill out for a second. This is
That's
quite
a
the place.
Cool, that's a nice shot right there.
It's very
Quite the
neat.
place. Anyway, that was the last standard enemy in the game. Let's continue.
Cool. Question mark?
Spiders?
No.
Jen?
I told you the skin osmosis, man.
You! Drake!
Okay, we are well past holding each other at gunpoint / hands up at this point, I think.
I think so. Also, we have guns.
Well, we did before the cutscene started. Actually, no, you're right, we do still have guns. Sully does have one in his holster. He just didn't pull it out. It literally would have made more sense for us to all mutually Mexican standoff, but whatever. Anyway, this cutscene's happening.
Nathan! Drake! Are you worthy of the name? Earn this, as Francis earned it from Elizabeth. Prove your greatness.
I got nothing to prove.
Hurry! Give me a hand!
You can't just let her die!
The hell he can't! Nate, give me your goddamn hand!
Here! Grab it!
What the hell are you doing?
I can't.
It's no good! Get the hell out of there!
Hold on!
Like a whip.
Grab the ring, grab the ring, grab the ring. No!
Nate! No!
Oh no, he lost his grandma. Now we have to escape with our grandpa. It's like a parallel, or I think, maybe? I'm not sure. Anyway, I do like the bit at the end with Marlo, where she does the whole name thing. Anyway, but this is the best line in the whole game.
3 goddamn bullets! How the hell did you do this? Holy shit! Come on!
Shit, we're in a giant sinkhole!
This ain't Hannibal. This ain't your mama's ancient city destruction.
Sully!
God, I love Sully.
Sully's,
I really
he's
do.
he's scampering.
I don't care about the rest of this crap. I just like being around Sully.
There is so much going on in the background of this. You can't even look at because you're too busy. Like, you've got to
Yeah.
jump and not die. But there are animations happening across the entire city if you look out to the left to, like, watch things crumbling. Excuse me.
I tried!
No!
He literally tried, you dumb ass. You saw it.
We all saw it. Okay, we got 15 minutes to finish this fight, boys. No!
Oh, he grabbed-
Jeez!
Oh, you better grab that damn spear.
Oh, stop. Yikes.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one's quick. Yikes. Ah. I wasn't fast enough on that one.
Whoa, that was a straight on haymaker. It was a standing one, too. Oh, I was really hoping you'd grab the spear.
Yikes! Stop! Stop it, Talbot! I'm busy trying to fight you. Camera, work with me. Yikes! So you can also, if you try to grab him, he will usually throw you. And sometimes he'll throw you off the ledge. If I roll off of the ledge, you get to do this. There's a bunch of animations in these fights that are unique that you don't always get. I was hoping that he'd just get me off the ledge once, and I realized we were getting close enough that it'd probably happen there. No, don't Saving Private Ryan me. There we go.
I was just thinking that.
Sully wasn't a coward.
Knife to a gunfight. Oh, shit.
Well,
Catch it, thank you.
shit.
Oh my god. Nathan, hold on.
It wouldn't be Uncharted if we didn't have to climb.
Anyway, yikes. Okay.
Sully, hold on!
You have to
Oh,
pull me
God.
up, Sully.
Son of a bitch.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks, kid.
Please don't come back.
I was really about to be like, now we see why
Now
he
keep on
didn't
running.
die
Yikes.
when Cutter
Yeah.
shot
Don't
him.
climb! Oh my god, Nick. Magnifique. Thanks, Uncharted 3. Thanks for sending me out literally on the last jump of the game.
There they are.
Hey!
It's just Solemn with our two horses.
It
for
cracks
us. The
me
rest
up
of
because
us-
a lot of these gameplay issues
Solemn,
are fixed
solemn.
in 2.
Sorry?
I said it cracks me up because a lot of these gameplay issues are fixed in 2.
Yeah.
So why are they not anymore?
Because it's made in 2 years, I guess. I don't know. More ambitious than 2 and made in 2 years. Whatever. Anyway. Alrighty, boys. That was an eventful day.
I really thought there was going to be something about us falling into the water.
My God.
Same.
Yalawi.
So much for immeasurable wealth, huh?
Well,
It's not much, is it?
it's enough.
Plus the 100 and something treasures we picked up along
Those
the
aren't
way.
canon. Those aren't
Word.
canon.
Now we see a big demon spirit fly into the sky. You see it, it's all the blue. It's canon. The blue smoke.
Is that not the plane we crashed?
No, that's much smaller. That's the same commercial plane we arrived on in the earlier scene.
What did happen
Hold
to
up.
Elena? She drove off in
Okay.
the Jeep when we got on the
Yeah.
plane, but like, where?
Yeah, I just got something needs saying, that's all.
Okay, Dad.
All right. What is it?
Look, I had a lousy father, a lousy childhood. I hit 40, I figured I was never gonna have a son of my own. Hell, I never wanted one. What the hell do I know about raising a kid? Then you came barreling into my life.
Look, you don't have to.
No, listen, I do. I have made a lot of mistakes, kid. A lot. And, well, I am not a perfect man.
You're not proposing, are you, Sully? I mean, I love you, but...
Stop. Just stop being a wise ass for 1 second.
How long you been carrying that around?
Too long.
Thought I'd lost it.
Here's the thing, kid. We don't get to choose how we start in this life. Real greatness, it's what you do with the hand you dealt.
Speak of the devil.
Hey,
Hey. Going somewhere?
maybe? I'm really sorry about your ring.
No. It's all right. I swapped it for something better.
No.
Let's get out of here, huh?
Yeah.
Come on, we're this way.
But
Come on. Trust me.
Horses. We're gonna ride all the way back.
what are you up to? No way.
It's not as nice as the one you two wrecked 4 years ago, but it'll do. Come on. Let's see if I can remember how to fly the goddamn thing.
Hey, this has parachutes, right?
Oh, yeah.
3.
More or less.
And that's Uncharted 3. ladies and gentlemen, it is so clear, especially in that ending scene, what they were trying to do, which makes it much more frustrating to me that they just didn't quite get there. Mm-hmm. It's just, there's all these pieces that they're setting up, and I don't know, you get to scenes like that bit with Marlo after he got drugged, right? Where she's like, let's see, Mr. Drake, but that's not your real name, but we won't dwell on that. No, dwell on that. Stop.
Yeah.
Go back to that. Father surrendered him to the state at the age of 5. Mother committed suicide. And it's like no. Let's
explore this.
Let's stay here, because it seemed like the closest thing I can figure with the whole thing of I don't care about the ring at the end. It doesn't bother me. Elena saying I'm sorry about it. I don't care. I got something better. And Sully's speech at the end about quote real greatness. It was it's supposed to be like Nate needs to get over this thing of, my mom died, my dad didn't love me, I wound up on the street somehow in South America. Sully's the closest thing I have to a dad. This lady smacked me and said, "You're not fit to touch these objects," and I'm just trying to prove that I'm smart and I'm better and I'm worth something. And it feels like it's always on the cusp of actually getting there. And the challenge is supposed to be, Nate, you this shouldn't matter to you as much as it does. This should not be bothering you the way that it is, because you have people who love you, and you need to stop putting the people who actually care about you in danger to try and get validation from some evil British lady. Not literally. He's not trying to get validation from Marlo, but you know what I mean.
Right.
There's pieces here, but they're all just kind of not, they don't ever quite, oh, look, Serbian soldier, Yuri Lowenthal.
There we go.
It just never quite connects. And anyway, so that's just kind of disappointing to me. But I'll loop back around to that in a second, because I have a couple other things I want to talk about. First things first, Talbot. So Talbot gets shot, doesn't die, doesn't even seem hurt. They draw attention to it.
I was waiting for that to come back.
They draw attention to it.
They could have just said he was wearing bulletproof
vest.
But we saw blood.
Now, let's wait a second. The last actual, think about this. Talbot is one of the most underwritten villains in the whole series. The last time that we see him and he has dialogue really is on the tower when Cutter where he defers to Marlo and she lights the thing on fire, right? Because after that, we have 2 foot chases with him, during which he doesn't say anything except when we pickpocket the journal off of him the first time we follow him, and he throws us out a window, right? Then after that, we don't see him again until hallucination of him shoots a hallucination Sully. Then he's in the background while Marlo does things. Then he has a knife fight with us and gets sad that she died and screams that we need to keep her alive. And then we shoot him repeatedly, and he doesn't die. He seems like he's exhausted. Yeah. It seems like putting a clip worth of bullets into him made him so tired that he lost his balance and fell.
Because you shot him in the head.
Also, when he drugged Talbot and walked around the corner, he had nowhere to go, remember? Yeah. And they went, where the hell did he go?
Yeah.
Where'd he go? When we were in in Yemen, and we chased, and during the foot chase, multiple times, he just went way further than he should have been able to, right? And they drew attention to it.
Yeah. There was no reason for us to see him.
Are you thinking that maybe there was supposed to be some kind of Jinn connection?
So, Uncharted fans and myself, we've scrutinized this game a good bit at this point. It's been out for a while. We've looked at interviews, behind-the-scenes documents that have come out. Yeah, we've scrutinized there's been a lot of speculation and a lot of discussions. At this point now, the generally accepted consensus amongst fans is that Talbot is a cyborg with the ability to teleport.
Okay.
Because it's the only thing that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. That's
hey,
fine.
remember the tarot card aesthetic? And they slipped a tarot card into Cutter's pocket, and then he and then there were no more of those.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, remember the cipher disc that's the icon of the game and the MacGuffin, and we use it twice in the whole game? 3 times. Once for Long Hidden, once for John Dee's password in the basement in the chateau, and once for a message that Francis Drake left on the wall at the site in Yemen.
Yeah.
It was used 3 times in the whole game. the key to everything. Hey, so in the last game, Tenzin didn't even talk in English. Like, he did talk, but he didn't speak English. But we hung out with him for a while. We met his kid. We spent time in that village, and it got attacked. And, like, we felt like this, even though we didn't even talk to any of them, there was, like, this emotional connection with what was happening.
Yeah.
And Salim and his crew show up in the last 2 hours and vanish just as quickly.
Yeah.
And then come back.
And then he comes back, but his crew, I guess they all died fighting the British, who were a homogeny of hermetic secret societies from the Elizabethan age who are still operating because they're trying to find a realm of the pillars, which they know has a hallucinogenic toxin in the lake underneath of it, which does seemingly the same thing as the drugs that they already have, but I guess better and cheaper, maybe. I don't know.
But why are they trying to find it?
Cheaper. Hold
You're about to bring up the operational costs. Yes.
Of hiring all the hired guns, of all of the expeditions it took to get there.
All the equipment. All the caravans. They had a military-grade plane that was dropping them supplies in the middle of the desert.
And we've already...
But they had permits for somehow.
And we've already discussed the kind of insanity of the archaeological trail that builds all of this.
Yes.
The idea that Queen Elizabeth and John Dee somehow heard about Iram of the Pillars, and it had hallucinogenic drugs, and they were like, that sounds like a good time. Sir Francis Drake, while you're circumnavigating the globe, could you stop off in the Arabian Peninsula and pick that up for us? And then he got to a secret underground cave in Yemen and deduced from the spiders that maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. Which, by the way, the spiders were at the secret site in Yemen, the chateau in France, which people lived in for centuries, but apparently were not attacked by the spiders, and
had fire.
And the castle in Syria, but they weren't in Iram.
I was waiting for them to actually come back because it's like I knew he was tripping.
Were they?
There weren't actually any spiders there. Where'd the spiders come? What were the spiders? What were those? What are those?
Maybe spiders don't like deserts.
Maybe the spiders were bred specifically to put in the map room that shows where Iram is, but to tell people not to go there. Because you see the spiders and you go, I'm not going to go there now. But they weren't from Ubar, they were just put there as a deterrent. And the Crusaders, who definitely did not go to Yemen, brought samples back, which then bred in their crypts. But didn't ever get out.
Those spiders are quite large, and there's a ton of them. But these are untouched areas. How are they surviving?
Why didn't any of them ever crawl out?
They're eating each other.
I was even thinking that, but
why didn't any of them ever crawl out into that French chateau, which people lived in as recently as probably at least 100 years ago, because there was an electric light and typewriter on that desk?
Yeah.
Don't
worry about it.
I'm left with questions.
All I can think about is that they are a very, very special breed that go into hibernation until prey gets close.
Hey, remember
for hundreds
how
of years.
cool the underwater ship was? That was so cool.
This is the problem with this game.
So cool,
this is the problem with Uncharted 3.
The underwater ship was so cool.
Because it's really good, but it sucks though. Because it's like, let's go down the list, right? Special effects, untouchable.
Yeah.
Musical score, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Actual acting performances from the entire cast across the board.
Pretty solid. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Set pieces, pretty good.
Yeah.
Encounter design, bad. Shooting, bad. Archaeological mystery, bad. Villains, bad. It's like 50-50, amazing and bad.
Yeah. It really do be.
Charlie Cutter, he was good for the 50% of the game he was in.
He was great.
Man, I'm so pissed that
I was
he wasn't
loving
in the rest
I
of
was
the
loving
game.
The Hobbit ruined something again. First it ruined cinema with its 48 frames per second, and now it ruins Uncharted 3.
Wait, what?
Oh, you don't know about this?
I don't know about
Freaking
Yeah, it was shot special.
Peter Jackson had did some crack, and he thought, I'm gonna revolutionize film by upping the frame rate to 48 frames per second, movies are shot at 24 frames per second. When you watch a movie and it's 48 frames per second, it looks and feels wrong because every movie is shot at the same frame rate, or at least presented. So you'll shoot things at a higher or lower frame rate, but it'll be presented at the same frame rate.
Humans can't see past 40 frames.
It's true. What's the point of the extra 8, Peter Jackson? To be fair, he probably got paid a lot more to be that dwarf who I'm willing to bet had less lines across all 3 movies than Charlie Cutter did by the end of the London sequence.
Oh, yeah. But it's not... Well, listen, man, it's not about the money. You gotta be in it for the art, man.
that's one thing
you
I was
can't
about to say,
ask
though.
for more. You can't be doing the job for money, though. It means you're a sellout.
It's true.
You can't be doing
You
this.
make a good point, Joey.
I
Aiden,
also feel like if I am gonna put my name on something, I want to be involved in it. I don't want to just show up for 3 lines and then go home.
I don't think it was his choice. I think that he was planned for it to be in the whole thing. I think that there was some kind of scheduling issue.
I meant more with The Hobbit.
Oh, okay.
I'd have been like,
I don't know, man.
I don't know, I would be, let's be very clear. I would have been super excited to be in The Hobbit before they came out.
yeah.
Oh,
And
dude,
it-
I get to be in one of those Lord of the Rings movies? That's sweet. I'd love that. I
Yeah.
mean, that's like being in a Star Wars or a James Bond or whatever. Like
Yeah.
that's actor career
Yeah.
nerd goals. It's just
Yeah.
too bad that they wound up being the Hobbit movies.
See, I'm not an actor, and if I was going into being an actor, I would feel differently, but I would much rather be in an awful movie than a good movie. I would much rather have a memorable role in a bad movie.
Have you read the stuff about the behind the scenes on the Dragon Ball Evolution of like that it was shot like they were like the actors were lied to about the budget of the game of the movie?
Yes.
And like they thought it was going to be a multi-million-dollar movie. It was, or I mean all movies are multi-million dollars these days. But it was like a quarter of the budget they were told, and it was all shot in an unair conditioned warehouse in Mexico.
Yes, because it was cheaper, and they were. It was. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. It's like, God, boy, that was not worth it for anybody involved.
Anyway, while we flip through concept art and look at some cool stuff, hey, you know something else good about this game is the concept art's pretty good. Remember how the game started
I
with
would
an
love to see a review for a game, and under positives, it's like it has cool concept art. It's like, what? What?
What does that mean? We open this one? Yes.
Boat.
That's a scene from The Last of Us Part 2. Not the cruise ship specifically, but the riding out the small
yeah.
boat into a storm.
We got shadow people and the opposite of a shadow person. I don't know what that is supposed to be.
She's singing.
You assume it's a she, Aiden?
Oh, my
I'm sorry. I
gosh.
forgot that the 2 genders were cruise ship and
So there-
pirate ship.
So this is another thing, but it's weird, like the UI in this game being weird, is that in the other games, you'll recall when we switch between concept art, I didn't talk about this before, it's just a black frame between concept art. Now when you flip, it shows the AK for a second.
Yeah.
Why? Why is it like that?
What is it?
I think it says Jack or Boom, something.
I think Jack.
Jack
Is
Sparrow.
there a little face?
This is the
It's
tale
like the head
of
of
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Of a Pop Funko drawn
Oh,
in
that's
there.
the room right there.
Yeah.
There were supposed to be enemies in here.
And they realized that's stupid.
Okay. Okay. Hello.
This is
That
not
is a
concept from this game.
I was gonna say that's a different video game. That's a completely different game. That's from Black Ops 1.
Okay. Color sketch.
I don't know how Nate got into this scene, but I'm sure Amy Hennig will figure it out. Now that her co-writers are gone working on one of her co-writers is gone working on The Last of Us, and the other one just isn't a co-writer anymore, we'll just let her figure it out in the 2 years of development time.
That didn't end up happening all with cranes and stuff.
Nah.
I was gonna
not
say,
really, but
this
there's
entire
always-
segment is the whole boat graveyard, so it's like they really wanted it, and I don't
Yeah.
blame them because it was incredible. But it's like, yeah, just no relevance at all.
Thugs.
Yeah, my boy.
I'm bad at faces, but I'm pretty sure those are the same guy, except one of them has more wrinkles.
Yeah, just about.
I think. I'm actually quite bad with recognizing and identifying facial features. He looks like freaking John Silver from Treasure Planet.
Oh my god, he does.
I haven't seen that in a long
That's a
time.
movie I want to see again sometime.
I've got that. That was another thing we had out to potentially watch with us when this is just more reasons we have to meet up more. We got more movies we need to get through.
Hey.
Now it's just kind of. I know you think it would skip straight to Ubar, but actually there's actually significantly less concept art in this game than there was in 1 or 2. It's just kind of odd.
Which is surprising considering they made the set pieces first.
Yeah. There's Poe Dameron.
Okay.
Why is the music stopped? Why is the music stopped?
That's the theme of this
What
game.
is the? Oh, I don't like the green boys.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. I don't know how I feel about
I'm
that.
glad
We're meant to
this
climb
didn't
on
really
them.
end up.
Dune walk.
But yeah, there's like it really feels like this concept gallery you will notice is much larger for whatever reason. They just
Yes.
dumped a lot at the very end.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. This game feels like if they'd cut the shipyard sequence and like given it even 6 more months, it could have been a lot tighter and the story could have come together a lot more cohesively. But it really feels like.
This feels like a photo. I'm
It
sorry.
does.
This is throwing me off because it's not, but it is, but it's not, and it's. Ugh.
I think there's with all the emphasis they drew towards it, maybe they didn't ever know what it was going to be, but I have to assume they were planning on revealing something supernatural about Talbot.
They had
and then they
to.
just didn't get to it. I don't.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
like
know.
Heavy Rain.
God, I forgot until you said it.
That's pretty.
That's near identical. It's just during night instead of during the day.
For anyone who doesn't know, the one good David Cage game, Heavy Rain, was almost bad again because David Cage was going to put psychics into it, but at the last minute, PlayStation was like, "What? No."
It was the main character.
Let's
and-
not talk. I guess I don't know. You can give it the brief.
No, I was
brief
gonna say
explanation.
the main character and the villain were supposed to be psychically linked.
And the character
Like
has
Star Wars.
and the character has unexplained.
Rey and,
the main character has
Kylo.
unexplained blackouts throughout the game that never get explained because they were supposed to be explained at the end by his psychic connection to the villain.
Oh, interesting.
And you just forget about it.
Don't worry about it. Just forget about it. Like you're gonna like we'll all hopefully forget about Quantic Dream 10 years from now. David Cage is trying to
Atlantis
stage
of
some
the
kind of comeback.
Sand?
That's the other thing that they called it. They referred to it as the Atlantis of the Sand.
I saw the birds
There's a
and
bunch
thought
of
they were
names.
fish, and I was like, this was gonna be real different.
Underwater. It would have been neat if it was more
Well,
like
I wasn't
Atlantis.
even,
Atlantis.
I wasn't even saying that all this was underwater. I was saying because there's a river
Flying
there.
fish.
I was saying it's like this is one of those weird pseudo underwater things. It's like my favorite area in Monster Hunter World, where there's a bunch of things. It's like these are just floating jellyfish, and this is a lot of coral, but you're not underwater.
I think part of the reason that Atlantis of the Sands winds up leaving slightly less of an impression,
That's
even
just
though
gonna blow that up.
yeah, it's gonna just completely destroy that. And there's the whole convoy; they're all gonna get wrecked right there. Nate was
Good.
actually very successful. Like one of the issues with this is that other than the establishing shots, you spend basically your entire time on the upper level of the city in narrow hallways and buildings. And even when you go underground, you get a couple of shots of the caverns, and then you're mostly going through narrow corridors. Whereas with Shambhala, you have several relatively large open sections, and you're usually exposed to the elements, and there's a lot, and I don't know, it feels like you see more of the city.
Yeah.
Whereas you kind of go through relatively homogenized rooms in this game once you actually get there. That's why, even though you spend, I think, about the same amount of time there, Shambhala just to me leaves more of an impression. But that's really a season to taste, like, that's really just like people's taste, because I get, because Atlantis of the Sands, Ubar looks really cool in this. So like,
Yeah.
if people are into it more, I get that. That freaking door was something else.
When the bulls hit the bell, the water. I did notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it real or not? Who knows?
No, I think it was real. It was just the way that it was like weirdly wobbling and whatnot was fake.
Oh no, I saw one of them leak spinning. We're bringing it back to the early days of memes.
Teaser trailer.
Yeah, again, remember the reveal trailer for this one was the crashed plane in the middle of the desert. I don't think that's even concept. I think that's a shot from the teaser trailer. Okay, no, this is concept. Never mind. Yeah, so it was a little bit different from what we wound up getting. There were some different shots in it. I want to say that shot of the Jeep being overturned was in the original trailer. I could be wrong. I don't think I've watched it like since it came out. It's not something I've ever gone back to.
Ooh.
We got the red phone booth. We got the manhole cover that says London, just to make sure you know where you are.
If the pub
The
wasn't
cigar.
enough, if the lads weren't enough.
If the actually good taxi wasn't enough, that we aren't allowed to have in the States because the American automotive industry said don't allow that to come into the States.
Nah, we'll let you have Uber, I guess.
They got laws passed to say you can't. Those British cabs are unsafe for the U.S. They have reversed the back. So the back of the driver's seat in British cabs have fold down seats to create more room if you have a larger party in the cab, and they have significantly more space in the back than, for example, yellow cabs you get in New York.
We live in a clown world.
we live in a clown car world. Yes.
Look at that dust.
An Elysian Tale? Been a few years since we've done that one, Joey.
Oh,
There it is!
there it is.
Just in case you didn't know where you were, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so it's really killing me that the music isn't playing.
It hurts.
It's really pissing me off.
What music have you added to this?
I don't know. At this point, I will have added in either score from the game or World of Final Fantasy music. Anyway.
And that's that.
That's about it. I don't know, the galleries feel a bit lacking compared to the other ones. I mean, it's still nice that they're there, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then obviously we already talked about previously, but now that you have the full scale of what the game looks like, it's just like these are the weapons that you can spawn in for fun.
The standard weapons.
Yeah, you can spawn in the dragon, and that's it. And the FAL, which isn't in the game by default, but it's just a single shot rifle. And that's it. That's all you get. And the cheats are the same as the cheats that you always get.
What is render model or render modes?
That's the
Oh,
same
render
ones that are in the
modes, yeah.
previous games, yeah.
Gotcha.
Cheats are the same as always. The only thing that's really impressive about this game is the quantity of skins.
It's quite a bit. Is that skeleton back?
Yeah, there's some... Oh, yeah, every skin from 2 is in here, plus new ones.
Yahoo.
And there's a bunch of promotional ones that are just available in this version of the game, obviously.
Skills or young Marlowe.
Yeah, from the flashback sequence. You can also play as young Sully from the flashback sequence. You can't play as young Nate. The skeleton, I assume, would just be too much for them to handle.
Yeah.
These are all just the various different NPCs, the bad
Yep.
guys that exist in the game, right? There are donut versions of Sully,
Oh.
Cutter, Salim, Ramses, Eddie, and Lazarevich.
That's neat.
Interesting.
There is still Donut Drake as well, obviously, but there are extras now. And you can still play as Cameraman Jeff.
Oh man,
Justice after all.
gone but not forgotten. Rest in peace, sweet prince.
Also plays Carl Schaefer if you want. He was a character you play as in multiplayer in 2 and 3.
Okay.
But you can also play as skeletons and the skeleton of Marco Polo, so it's really not that ridiculous at the
Yeah.
end of the day. How many treasures? 74 treasures. We did not do bad.
I was gonna say that's almost a third. I mean 3/4.
You'll get there. You'll get there.
Numbers are tough.
We're gonna fade out real quick and come back up in just a second. I gotta flip back over to my account real quick. So real quick, as we're wrapping up, I've collected. Oh, here are my shots of the other my better shots of. I wonder where my epic quest for hentai will take me now. Where I should go next on my epic quest for hentai. I tried several, trying to get it as close as I could. So I've got some clips in here that some of them are kind of interesting and worth looking at. Some glitches, some things that happened along the way, some things that I was able to trigger that I might not have been able to show off during the game, some cheats and other stuff. So we'll just kind of skim these while I talk about a couple of other kind of final things that I want to chat about with this game, including this bit here, which I think is pretty fun.
He's dead.
Anyway,
You killed him, Nate.
so we're just gonna flip through some bits that I've saved here. I don't even remember what a lot of these are. We're just gonna check them out.
Run.
You were making fun of his jaunt. The game didn't like his jaunt much either.
Woo!
Instead, he used jaunt from Transistor, which is a dash.
Oh dear.
Anyway, so there were a lot of things that I thought when I finished this game, and a lot of them we've already talked about. Some of them I didn't really come to until later. The one that I realized almost immediately was the whole thing I was talking about with the spiders. Of like, the freaking spiders are like set up at every location you go to that's connected to Iram,
baby.
but they aren't actually. Where did they come from? Did the Crusaders bring a couple spiders home as pets?
The slowdown made that clip even better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It really makes it that he does the finisher slowdown right when it happens. It's phenomenal. To be clear, zero gravity mode isn't on. That just happened, which is why I paused in shock.
You're like, wait a minute.
This happened several times. I only saved it once. Sometimes the physics on the riot shield don't exist.
Oh, I love that glitch. That's persistent in so many games. It's better when it's floating and then you shoot it and it drops, but this is still good.
This is one of my favorites because I'm still not quite sure what happened. Do you remember this bit? This is kind of towards the end of the initial pirate sequence before we get to like before we get to the floating docks. There's a gap up here we have to jump across.
Okay.
And I don't remember if I hesitated or if the game just freaked out, but I didn't make the jump cleanly and some other stuff wound up happening instead.
Let's see it happen.
Okay, I'll just pull myself up. Wait, no, never mind, I'll fall.
Ooh! Look at that.
What's great about this is the
Now
music.
that I
the
have
music,
you, Mr. Bond.
What's great about this whole sequence is that the music could not have been like if this was a filmed scene handed over to a composer, it couldn't have matched better. Okay, so what do I do now? Okay, I pulled myself up. What now? Okay, let's take a quick look. Can I move? Can I jump? Will I just die the second I touch the stick? I can jump. Let's try jumping back.
Perfect. Yeah.
Where did you go forward or backwards?
So you're supposed to land on there from a jump, and then it plays a cutscene of Nate rolling. But I'm on the very first pixel, which it does not expect you to possibly be able to jump to where I pull myself up. So I step forward one bit into the trigger zone of the cutscene playing of Nate landing and rolling.
These are the things you couldn't replicate if you tried.
Exactly. That's why I saved them. That's just an 8-minute clip of I actually had a pretty clean run of the convoy sequence, which honestly I guess I'll show for a second. Because you know what? Honestly, let's watch and listen to this again.
Okay.
But because I have kind of a larger subject I want to talk about that's gonna be harder to do when I'm laughing about glitches.
Okay.
So whatever, we can listen to this music again.
No, it's good stuff.
I think this is when I was doing my first run a few months ago, and I was just impressed because when Joshua played this last year or whenever, this sequence kept bugging out on him. He could not get on the horse without dying off of the trucks.
That's a shame.
And then I wound up having a miraculously clean run.
Salim, is it much farther? We are nearly there. The convoy will be up ahead.
I still remember that I was really iffy on this game when I was playing it originally, and I got to this, and I was like, oh, I hate that this game is cool.
We have to hurry.
You see this and you're like, oh.
Obviously, it's one of those things where, that if I pushed the horse towards the edge, he probably wouldn't fly off. But emerging onto that the very first time and being right on that cliff and it felt so visceral the first time that I played it. But anyway, so among other things that I was left to think about when this game released, I was left to think about the fact that this was like really in many ways a sloppier version of the plot that we've already done in terms of the treasure was a weapon, bad guys are after it. We destroy it, we beat the bad guy, we walk away with nothing.
Even though we don't really destroy it, we just... If the whole building...
To be fair, in this one, we literally dumped an entire city on top of it.
I'm saying, I don't think he intended to do that.
But it is what
It was
ended up
convenient it
happening.
happened.
Anyway, I completely agree. You are correct. It wasn't his intent, but somehow 3 bullets did everything. One of my
3 of whatever the hell those bullets were.
One of my favorite bits from the Chip Cheese and playthrough of Uncharted 3 is when that happens, because one of the guys who was not, because they also do they do half-blind playthroughs kind of like we do, where one of them is familiar and pre-tapes it, and the other one isn't. And the guy who was new was reacting to okay, it's the game is it's set up multiple times, they talk about their history, and Sully's like, besides, I got you out, right? I always get you out. One of these days, you're gonna have to carry your own light. One of these days, you're gonna have to start carrying your own lighter around. Nate, he'd go to the ends of the earth where you just don't make him, right? It is, and all of this stuff about Nate is putting his friends and loved ones at risk for his pride when he should know when to walk away. like it makes some amount of dramatic sense for Sully to get killed, right?
It
Yes.
did.
So
I was gonna be real pissed if we got to the end of this and he was still dead. But I was gonna understand.
You would understand the choice.
Real pissed.
I would have been.
that guy's ghost riding the whip.
I
there.
saw that.
Literally, there's a ghost riding the whip. It's a little different than the usual meaning.
And you didn't even blow it up. It just did it on its own. It suicide bombed you.
That was its objective. It was trying to take me out. Anyway.
That was its unfinished business.
It had unfinished business with white men on horses. But whatchamacallit, that motorcycle was haunted by the spirit of one of the guys that Indiana Jones kills in the jousting sequence from Last Crusade.
Yes.
That's absolutely what that was. It was the ghost of a Nazi from the Last Crusade. And here I think, oh, was this not a clean run? Oh no, I forgot, right. You can jump off, I totally forgot you can even do this. You can jump off the horse and still use the rocket launcher as long as these two aren't destroyed. But if you run out of ammo before you use them, you gotta get back on. I totally forgot you can even do that. Then it warps the RPG off your back.
Okay.
I completely forgot that was even an option.
Now we know.
Yeah, now we know. See, I'm showing cool stuff. That was cooler than how it normally looks in the game. See? I told you this was a good run. Anyway. Among the many and there's a bit from the Chip Cheese and playthrough where they get to the end and the other guy, I always forget his name. He goes by Iron, like General Iron something. That's his screen name and I forget his real name. I always forget. I'm bad. He's kind of talking about the whole city's collapsing. I'm like, and then Sully does his 3 bullets line and screams and he's like, oh, I love you, Sully. I'm so glad you didn't die, even though it would have been more thematically appropriate.
Yeah.
Which is the vibe. It's like that would make sense, but the game, it's not like you're almost like the game's doing something and I appreciate it, but it's not doing it well enough for me to be okay with them killing Sully.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially when we finally had a game to make him not just like the funny background guy, but like actually a really good character.
Yeah.
And again, there is stuff in because again I was talked about before. Like I'm not trying to smoking gun Hennig on Josh Scherer and Neil Druckmann not being the writers on this anymore, because I still think she's a good writer. And you get, there's so much stuff that really builds to this nice cumulative image, by the end, like him putting the gun to Cutter's head and he's about to blow him away to save Nate. That's not just there for fun. That's important to what the story's building between the two characters. But ultimately, a lot of its dramatic goals were just weird and didn't quite work out properly. And again, there's the entire thing of okay, great, at the end, Nate and Elena are we're gonna ride off into the sunset, but that's how the last game ended.
Yeah.
And as far as I can tell, the issue wasn't that Nate liked adventuring too much, so him stopping adventuring isn't gonna solve the problems.
Yeah.
Maybe the implication is that she was upset about Nate's pride or insecurities or something, and now he's over that. But it's but the point is in order for me to be hyped about them riding off into the sunset together, this time I need to know what went wrong, so I know it's not gonna happen again.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, after this whole adventure of almost getting Sully killed, of almost getting Chloe and especially Cutter killed, and bringing Elena back into it, if Nate ever does another Uncharted adventure again, he becomes completely irredeemable after this game. If he ever goes on if he ever half tucks his shirt again and goes after an ancient treasure, then it's I can't like this guy anymore.
Yeah.
And it was a real I was thinking about that. I was like, they can't do a 4 now. They really can't, or I'm not or Nate, they're really gonna have to try really hard to convince me that it's not Nate being Nate has to have learned something from this. If you're gonna because on one hand I was you've botched a lot of your dramatic stuff here. So on one hand I'd like to see you explore some of this better. But on the other hand, you chose this game to do it, so you can't pretend it didn't happen and just do it again.
Yeah.
So I was for quite some time after this game came out, I was of two minds. I was there are really two things they can do. A, they have to create an adventure where Nate is gun to your head, you have to do this. The only ways I could think of that were what if pregnant Elena gets kidnapped or whatever. And I'm I really don't want that, but that's the only thing I can think of that would feel even close to appropriate. So I was the only way that I feel we can pull this off is if they do a full-on, like, they have to concoct some reason that gives him a really good reason for going on it.
Yeah.
And then they also have to explore all the dramatic ideas they already did in this better, plus some new ones.
Yeah.
And also, it has to be the last one.
Yeah.
There can't be a 5, even if they execute it well. But I didn't think that would happen. I thought they won't do that. There's no way that they will do that. So I thought the only other good option is Chloe game. Because there's you're not going to sit around talking about moral compunctions of Chloe going after treasure.
Yes.
Nate can go retire, and maybe she can call him on the phone for, like, historical, hey Nate, there's this thing I think you know something about, and he can make a little cameo, and she can go around, and maybe the fear at that point is, well, then now we're just doing Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
So maybe they wouldn't have, I was like, maybe they won't want to do that, because then we're just doing Tomb Raider, and this came out shortly before Tomb Raider got rebooted. So I was like, they won't do either of these. They're just gonna make Nate go find, I don't know, the actual Atlantis, or some other ancient civilization, or some other treasure. And
we're really running out of ancient treasures.
And I was like, I don't
know. I hadn't heard of either of the last two. Well, I heard of Shambhala, but I don't know if the Chintamani Stone, if it was actually based on something or not.
But I was very, like, after 3 came out, even though I didn't, like, hate it. I really don't hate this game, because again, I think it's really cool, it's just that it sucks. And I know I keep saying that, but it's like, I don't know how else to explain it quickly, and I really hope that at this point, you guys understand what I'm talking about.
Yes.
But like
this is a cool game.
I'm losing my mind.
I enjoyed watching you play it. I have no interest to play it myself.
I need to stop screaming. I'm hurting my throat. Let's go find some more cool clips while I keep talking about stuff.
You skipped one that was
It was 31 seconds.
Oh, I did? I'll go back.
Yeah.
I can't believe you.
Oh, this isn't important. This was I think I saw an M9 or the not the M4, the whatever, like the later assault rifle is on the ground right here, and I thought it was a mistake right there.
Yeah.
I thought that was a mistake, like it didn't appear until later in the game, but apparently it does. Like, there's one guy in this room at the very beginning of the game who drops it.
Okay.
I noticed it during our playthrough this time, so that's not. I don't actually need that clip. What's going on here? Ooh, the sandstorm bit, my favorite. This will hopefully be really promising.
Oh.
How did he get up there?
I'm short on options. Sully.
No fear at all from Sully.
Oh.
He had some of that Talbot blood in him. He was an earlier cyborg.
He just need a nap.
So
it's reminiscent of that trope you see in anime sometimes, where it's like he passed out fighting, and you see the dude still standing and stanced up.
Here's the young Sully skin. So something really confusing happens here. I shoot the guy with the flares. I'm playing in slow mo. I have the slow motion mode, I believe, on, by the way.
Yes.
And so this guy has the flares, and I shoot him, right? And he continues to animate for a second, then stops, then levitates, because zero gravity mode is on. But no physics impacted him, because even though I killed him, he had to complete his flare waving animation. So when his animation was over, he just stopped moving, and zero gravity just suspended him there.
Okay.
And I thought
There he goes.
that was pretty great.
And he's gone.
And he's gone. Anyway, point is, following Uncharted 3, while I was like, I'll probably play a 4th game, because I'm sure they're not going to stop. I was like, I don't know at this point, like, I would have been totally happy with, like, no philosophical examination of the main characters. I don't know why I stuttered there. Just more fun adventures. I would also be fine with character examination and getting more deep into these people and who they are. But then they did it, like, half-heartedly in this game, in a game that's kind of all over the place, where they planned the set pieces first and the script later, and they wrote a character drama that makes an additional adventure borderline unjustifiable. And I was also like, they're not going to do Chloe because Tomb Raider, among other things. Also because Nathan Drake is the main character. They just aren't going to do. They won't make it close. I was just like, there is no way that they will do I was like, these are the only 2 things they could do that would make me happy. There's no way they'll do either of them. They'll just do like another adventure with Nathan Drake, and he'll just go find more treasure and shoot. Little did I know they would do both of the things that I wanted. Because Uncharted 4 is okay, you know that hypothetical game I just described of like they'd have to like, if they were gonna do it again,
they'd have to really properly motivate
and they'd
Drake,
have to
do Chloe.
And they'd have to take the character drama very seriously in order for another Nathan Drake game to work.
Yeah.
They did it. 4, we'll get there eventually, is one of my favorite games. Period. The more time goes by, the more I think I like it more than Uncharted 2.
Okay.
It's certainly the better like story compared to Uncharted 2. There's just like a soft spot in my heart for like the action and level design and shooting of Uncharted 2. And since you're confused, Aiden, then there was a spin-off released.
It's not that I'm confused. It's that I'm doubtful.
Then there was a spin-off released a year after Uncharted 4: A Thief's End, which is a Chloe game.
Oh, okay.
So they do not the exact Nathan Drake game that I wanted, a better Nathan Drake game than I thought was possible for them to execute, frankly.
Okay.
And then they did a Chloe adventure. And I could not believe it.
Perfect.
And I can't wait to get there, even though, Aiden, you probably won't be in the playthrough of 4. We'll see what happens on that front. Maybe you'll be here. It remains to be seen.
Yeah, it just depends on my life. Is Cutter in the Chloe game?
Cutter is not in the Chloe game, unfortunately.
That sucks.
I suspect if they continue to make Chloe games, he will reappear. Anyway, I'm using the FAL, by the way, just thanks to cheats, and I'm dressed up in the dive suit from the first game just for funsies. Anyway, I'm gonna shoot this guy in the head.
Why does the FAL have the same sound as the Magnum?
Don't worry about it too much. Anyway, I'm gonna shoot this guy in the head with the gun, right, to make his helmet come off, because that's his weak spot, right?
Ooh, what the heck? How many grenades was that?
I don't know. Let's go back and watch how many times I shoot this guy directly in the head, and I absolutely know that I shot him in the head because there are definitely sparks on his head.
Weak spot.
Okay, alright, very good. I'll shoot him with the gun, with the pistol. Maybe it's because I'm using the FAL and it's a cheat code gun. Maybe it just doesn't work. Maybe I just need to use a real gun from the real video game. I'll throw a grenade at his feet. The grenades usually soften up their armor. The grenades usually soften up the armor on those big guys. Now I will go shoot him in the face some more.
That guy just said...
Are you playing on, like, baby easy?
I think this is just normal.
How? How are you not dead, then? Now you are.
Okay, so I do this some more. I was like, well, hold on. Let's continue to shoot this guy in the face. With this, by the way, with this gun that has no, like, tracer bullet and barely any feedback on shooting it. It just looks fantastic. But it's a cheat code gun, so whatever. I shouldn't expect it to look fantastic. It was just for multiplayer, and then they, for whatever reason, included it in the single-player cheats.
What is... Oh, that's his gun.
Anyway, the point is, I shoot this guy in the face about 6,000 times across both of these lives, and he just doesn't care.
Of course not.
And eventually I gave up on the FAL, and I just shoot him with the normal guns, and he still doesn't care. This goes on for a while.
Oh my god.
His helmet still hasn't even come off.
This is the uber heavy, right?
No!
Yeah, this is the heaviest guy. Yeah, if he has that machine gun, this is the heaviest guy. The heaviest guys in this game are much lighter than the heavy.
There you go.
I killed him before the helmet came off. Yeah, but no, those are the heaviest guys in this game. The heaviest guys in this game are much lighter than the heaviest guys in 2. Okay. Anyway, he's ascending now.
He's ascending.
See you later.
So I still have 0 gravity on just because I'm messing around, right?
Yeah.
Which really messes with this sequence.
Oh dear. Oh my. But those still have...
Those, I believe, were just like programmed to go down with the water,
yes.
So they're okay.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, 0 gravity in Uncharted is fun. So then something pretty wild happened to me, still playing on 0 gravity.
Okay.
I know I kind of had like what should have been the outro of the whole playthrough a second ago, discussing what happens in the future games and why, even though this game's a mess, please, literally please be excited. So I'm still playing 0 gravity. I head into the next room. See, as you can see, I knocked over the lamp, right?
Which way's up?
Which way's up?
That way.
Yeah. Let's go up here.
Which way is up?
Now, I don't have this game memorized, but I feel like that wasn't what was supposed to happen.
Oh, that's incredible.
What? What's this? So as a point of reference, I can't climb up. If I hit O, he doesn't release. This is a soft lock.
Oh!
I can't do anything. So eventually I have to reset the game.
That's
or
incredible.
restart from checkpoint, right? So I get back there. I notice the door is closed. I'm like, isn't it supposed to be open so you can grab the thing? So I decide to jump again. I'm like, is there something else I'm supposed to grab and I'm forgetting how the sequence works? No. This is repeatable. And I get stuck.
Is this just zero gravity?
This is strange. So I decide, wait a second. Let me restart from checkpoint and let me just see. Let me turn off that zero gravity. Let's go check out. Let's go try this again. And the door is open when I walk in, and I can climb onto it as per normal as the game intends.
Yes.
So now I'm saying to myself, wait a second. The door wobbles when you jump onto it, so that is somehow being impacted in game by physics.
Physics.
So let's try. Let's test a theory. What exactly is happening here?
I was hoping you were going to do this.
Let's try this one more time. Okay, I turned zero gravity back on. I'm gonna jump on it. It behaves normally.
Yes.
All right, then in that case, let's restart from checkpoint again with zero gravity turned on.
Yes. Let's see it happen. There it is.
The door is closed.
Press the button. Flip the switch.
What?
Oh my goodness. Oh my golden rings.
Clearly, no one did I shouldn't say no one did a full playthrough run on zero gravity in QA because that was known shippable, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely certain that was known shippable, not like overlooked. That was like
shippable?
known shippable is when a bug or issue is discovered through the QA process, which is basically put as like, yes, we know about this. This is not a high enough priority to fix before the game ships. It's not a big enough deal. We're going to leave it in the game.
Okay.
Now, oftentimes, known shippable will be like really bad game-breaking things because they need to get the game out on time because they told shareholders they were going to release Cyberpunk 2077 on time. And sometimes,
I wondered if that was gonna come.
and sometimes known shippable is you have the chance to fall through the floor at any given moment. But hopefully, most of the time, known shippable is minor things that it's just like we need to put the game out and we don't have time to fix this.
Yeah.
I saw one for QA.
One door on a
and
sinking cruise ship.
it was
Yes. In one game mode.
It was the meme with Anakin and Padme. And
Is that mine?
Tell me about. Let's play. No, I'm playing as Elena actually. But
Okay, I couldn't
hold your
tell.
thought about Anakin and Padme. Remember I said there was a glitch that I almost triggered when we were
Yes.
playing. So here's what happens. So I think the camera angle changes here as I'm trying to climb up and he's jumping over. We collide into each other, and I panic because so when I was playing myself, I was like, oh, hit square to pull him down. So then Elena turns around to try and snap his neck. But it doesn't work. She grabs the ledge, and he goes neutral, and he falls and lands on the bottom, and he's fine.
oh my god. You magnificent son of a bitch.
Anakin and Padme memes.
Oh no, there was one for QA testing, and it's like, hey, I discovered this bug. It's like, put it in the log. It's like, so we can fix it later, right?
It's the. I'll hopefully try to find it and put it on screen. It's the from the scene where they're frolicking in the meadow together in 2, and he says something and she smiles and then kind of gets surprised by his response. It's the one shot senior dev, put it in the log. Padme smiling, so we can fix it later, right before it ships, right? Anakin, stony face staring back, frown. So we can fix it before it ships, right? It's just that she's senior dev, junior dev, or whatever. I'll try to find that and put that in. So something else interesting here. Now you'll recall in the past we talked about how even though you're playing as like Elena or whatever, your skeleton is Nate's.
Yeah.
Now I appreciate that no matter where your gun holster is, though Nate will still animate tucking it under his arm where his holster is, it'll warp to the character's appropriate holster, which is neat. However, while if we were to stand next to Elena as Elena, we would still be noticeably taller than her.
Yeah.
There are this model is smaller than Drake, and the arms are shorter, and you can tell in the in the real time cutscenes where you're using a different character model with different proportions or height for things like fingers clipping through the surface, but more distinctly with the binoculars that she picks up using telekinesis and then holds to her forehead.
I'm using my third eye.
I love it. She doesn't even need the binoculars.
Aiden's miming the hand binoculars like a little kid does.
No, it's the this thing.
Now she's doing the thing from the labyrinth, from Pan's Labyrinth.
How does it look when she goes down the zip line?
That's why we're here. It's a very convenient spot. So check this out.
Let's see it happen.
Check this out, gamers.
Yeah!
Also, I paused it on the exact frame where her face gets messed up. It's just like 1 or 2 frames where her face gets messed up for some reason there, and I don't know why. Anyway. This whole next bit is great because at this point...
Oh, she do be wearing that ring, though.
At this point, there's a very specific, like, positioning for the gun that is in your hand because it's, like, held inverse because you were sliding, and it's animated that way for the rest of the cutscene. So for the rest of this cutscene, she is airbending this gun.
It's that telekinesis.
Absolutely.
I love it.
I got a bunch of these tucked away. I was like, "There's some good stuff in here." I don't know which one of these are good and which ones aren't, but we're just gonna keep trolling through some of them real quick because there's some decent stuff. Oh, that guy just spawns in. That's
Surprise!
good. I like that. You go down in the hole now.
Sayonara, bitch.
What's this one?
Pow, 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 pow.
Click? What do you mean, click?
That's a good
good.
line.
Oh, this 5-minute 30-second one is that I took of like these both are like just me doing weapon firing of like every type.
Oh.
And then I went and did like immediate comparison to like this. I did the same thing in Uncharted 2.
Oh, okay.
Whereas like I like fire 1 bullet at a time, fire as rapidly as possible. I was just wanted to do comparisons of
Yes.
how they all looked. The Elena holding the binoculars to her forehead one was one of the ones I really needed to show that one. Another instance, I'm just shooting this. I'm pretty sure that that one missed. I'll give him that. And I missed that one. I screwed up. I admit that. I feel like those maybe should have hit his head. Maybe that one. Maybe this one. Maybe that one.
Nah, it's all
Why
good.
is the middle reticle flickering like that? Is it trying to give me a stroke?
It knows.
A seizure.
It knows he's supposed to be dead.
Thanks, Uncharted 3. That goes on for a while. Here I am playing as the armored goon from Uncharted 2.
That was a nice stance, Sully. Oh no!
What is this? Kick his ass, Sully. Yeah!
Get him!
I'm just gonna let you go.
Get
I'm just
him!
gonna let you take care of that. He did it! So it turns out, your allies in Uncharted 3 can kill people sometimes when they feel like it.
Do it. Do it.
Get him, Sully. Get him, Sully.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves. What happened back there between them?
Alright, look, we're gonna go in here and I don't want you to look down. I said don't look down!
All right, Sully, woohoo! I'm so glad you didn't die. Anyway. So I was playing as young Victor and then I realized, wait a second. We can probably get some of the same action we got a minute ago on the animations. The animations shockingly hold up really well in some spots, but the specific points where she's gripping Talbot, and some of the points of contact don't quite match up. But for the most part, honestly, it's remarkable how well the various skins like hold up.
Yeah.
Considering how many of them there are. So either she's not quite holding his hands,
fine.
but it works. It's fine. If you're playing as Elena for funsies after on a replay, you're not doing it because you want realism.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying that Elena couldn't do this. That wasn't my comment about realism. So if he pins you close enough to the edge there, you can fall off really easily.
Do you just die if you don't do that?
Biting with his
I don't
nose.
know. I haven't failed that one before. Yeah, I think we fortunately got to see me kind of tumble off the edge, which was the main unique animation we got to see in this bit. Though this part's good.
Yes! She's using telekinesis again.
She's using telekinesis and her arms. What's weird is because of I guess it has something to do with their length, the length that's assigned to them, and like their position that they're supposed to be at. Not only are they not hitting him, her arms start to clip through each other.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that. I don't know how that matches up with everything else. Also, again, because cutscene power, she starts levitating this gun quite a bit.
Yeah.
Ghost gun. Elena's very powerful. It's why Nate needs to get back with her.
This is what they need to explore in the 4th game.
I don't disagree. If it turned out that the reason he gets back into adventure is because Elena is a princess of heart,
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
and
No.
Organization 13 comes
No.
after her, that could be a whole thing, dude. I'd be into that. I'd rather play that than Kingdom Hearts 4.
Oh god.
Oh. You've
I'm gonna-
killed me.
God.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
She's been trying to sneeze for 2 hours, folks.
More than 2.
I tried to sneeze.
It was
like
still
3
daylight
minutes ago, and
outside when I
couldn't.
first started having to sneeze.
Hey, look, watch it. I'm gonna do it clean this time.
He did it.
That's what it's supposed to look like, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this one is just a glitch that doesn't matter. I'm not gonna stop for that one.
That's been cooking for a while.
Okay, so yeah, you can see even though the skeleton,
Yeah.
like, it still doesn't quite match up with Elena, unfortunately.
Bigger Luke situation.
Still a bit of a bigger Luke situation, yeah. Playing as Sully in a suit here. Here I did manage to perfect headshot these guys with the silenced pistol. That's not important though. That was just like I wanted them more. I'm also collecting photo reference for eventually doing the review of these games, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's certain things. Oh yeah. Also, watch this Cirque du Soleil performer in a second here. That guy on the container right there on the
Yes.
left.
Woo!
Let's see that one more time.
Homie got hot.
The first guy did it too, but we just didn't see it as clearly. That was phenomenal.
God, it's like in the Tomb Raider remake where there's that one scene where she's climbing up like with ice picks and she jumps about. People measured and it was like about 7 feet, just standing, like just yanking herself up.
So we managed to avoid this fate, but you can be, if these things slide into you, you can be killed by the terrain. Like if you're to the left of this thing when it slides over to the wall, you can get crushed against the wall and get killed that way. It's not very fun.
That's fine.
Oh, I remember what happens here now.
Uh-oh.
So for some reason,
Did you not even control yourself right there?
I got stuck and I couldn't move.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
You're not supposed to be able to get past that fire, I don't think. For some reason, I tried to take cover against this, I think, and this caused Sully to initiate the I'm going to dive into water animation in a plane over a desert.
Oh, is it? Oh my god.
He triggers the dive into water animation as
Because
near
of
as
the
I can tell.
sprinklers.
Yeah, this is the sprinklers, you're right.
Oh my god.
Which then clips him past the fire and in between this other terrain, and I can't move.
Oh baby, that's tech.
He did the Call of Duty dolphin dive. That's what it's gonna be like when Cloud meets Mr. Dolphin in Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2.
Oh, I can't wait.
And I think that's about it. These are, I'm not sure what these are. It looks like I haven't trimmed this yet. So I'm not gonna try and peruse through those to figure out what they were. But anyway, that was Uncharted 3, folks. What an experience.
Yeah.
It is, it's honestly a weird one, because I don't hate the game. I really like it, but I also really dislike it.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of cool stuff, a lot of mixed stuff. I want to hear some final thoughts from you guys before we wrap up, though, because I talk a lot, obviously.
Blast. I had a good time.
It's fun!
I would have had less of a good time had the remote been in my hands.
Yeah.
I can assure you. Maybe it's not fair because I haven't played it, but I respect your opinion. And also, just playing video games all my life, seeing what's on screen, I can kind of look at that and go, ooh, that doesn't look like it feels so good.
I mean, you could always boot it up at home. I know you aren't probably jazzed to play the whole thing, but you can play like a couple of levels just to get the
I
vibe.
could.
See what the horse feels like.
I could, but I don't really feel like riding right now, you know what I mean?
To be fair, he probably, from what we've learned, it probably won't save his save data from this playthrough, so even though he would have his trophies, he'd probably have to start from the beginning, but he could at least play 2 levels and shoot the gun.
Yeah.
And you can play the fun foot chase in the flashback sequence.
Yeah.
Which is honestly, I really like the foot chases in this game. There's the only 2 major ones. There are elements. It's mainly the Talbot one and the flashback one, but they're both really good. The flashback one is a knockout.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite parts in the whole game.
It's really solid.
I think my overall impression is like, man, the things that the game does right, it knocks them out of the park. and then the things that it doesn't do right, boy, does it drop the ball.
But the set pieces, it's the opposite. It's like, oh god, that looks good. And
Right,
like,
that's
when
what I'm saying, like,
I
the
would
things it
describe
does
this game,
good.
if I were to use a word, I would say this is a cool game. This is a game that is cool. It may not be the most fun at times, but it's like there's a lot of just that's neat. I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, like I think the three of us, you already said a second ago, but I think it's fair to say we all had a good time doing
Yeah.
this, and it wasn't like an ironic good time.
No.
Except when we were laughing
I wasn't
about
laughing
Talbot
at
being a
it.
cyborg.
Yeah, it's not like we sat here like watched like a B movie where you're enjoying it
Yeah.
because it's so bad, and it being bad
It
the fun
is
part.
fun. It is a good game.
But like this genuinely had like cool moment. Like there were lots of things that this game did do good.
The flashback, the boat sequence, the mountain, everything is just
The
And
canyon.
even though it
was
drops the
hella
ball, like I'm glad that they tried. I shouldn't even say like completely, because there were some successful parts of it. Like, I mean, the fact that after 3 games we finally got like the first thing that ever happens is is Lana going, but Francis Drake didn't have kids, and he's like, you never know. And like we finally got to someone saying you're a liar.
Yeah.
Which informs his character so much, even
Yeah.
without the scene going any further. It tells you so much about them that whoever he really is, he just decided one day, apparently when he was like 15 or younger, I'm a descendant of Francis Drake. It could have happened. Whatever, who cares? I mean, I don't think he believes it either. I think he just says it.
yeah.
So, fun fact, real quick, the more you tell a lie, the more you believe it. Like, to the point where, like, if he's been telling that lie for 30 years, he's probably forgotten it's a freaking lie.
I mean, I think at minimum, I feel like when they wrote the first game, in their brains, they were like, this guy's a fraud. I don't think they really wrote it as he's a secret descendant of Sir Francis Drake.
Yeah.
But you can tell he still has that emotional, like, kind of, I guess, kinship and connection to him, especially in the scene where he finds the body and leaves the ring, and he's like, I can't turn out like this guy.
Yes.
I am not, when she says, are you ready to leave? And he goes, yeah, now more than ever. Because I am not going to die here like he did.
Yeah.
But, like, he's not like, oh, what an idiot. He's, like, emotional over it because he thinks of him as, like, this great,
Yeah.
this accomplished guy. And then because again, in Nate's mind, he thought that he died without finding El Dorado in that scene. Then he finds out a few minutes later that actually Francis Drake died a hero, even though nobody knew, but whatever. I don't know, like, and it's like, and obviously, we haven't talked about it much during the ending, even though we talked about it a lot throughout this whole thing, that this is the Sully game. This is the game that takes
Yeah.
Sully
I was just about to bring that up.
from the sex joke dirty old man to, like, I think I love him.
Yeah.
You two can hold hands, though.
All the more reason
Ah,
why
that was
I'm mad
so
about
nice.
Mark Wahlberg. And that was funny. I was like, play this up, and then they did.
I really, no, yeah, the
Love
whole...
wins.
I can't imagine Mark Wahlberg, and this is gonna sound odd because Sully does shout and, jump and scream and curse, but it's like, I can't imagine Wahlberg playing him gentle enough in certain
Yes.
scenes. Like, bits where he's like, I don't see, like, Sully goes, okay, kid. I see Wahlberg going, okay, kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he'll surprise us all. The movie is written by the men who wrote Transformers: The Last Night, so doesn't inspire oodles of confidence.
Yeah, and that's why we had the conversation. I was trying to remember.
Why did we talk about
why-
Transformers last time? Oh yeah, because they're writing the movie based on this.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what that means? It means that probably in a couple of years, I won't feel as down on Uncharted 3 anymore because I'll have a new punching bag. Most likely. Anyway, I think that's it. It's getting late. You guys have any other final thoughts you want to share?
I'm alright.
All right.
Yeah, I think I've said everything.
Oh, yeah,
that
I mean,
had to say.
I've said my piece.
We've been talking a lot.
That's true.
It doesn't.
This
stop
game
yet.
has me excited for 4.
4 is really good. Hopefully, there's a possibility that all 4 of us will be here. But honestly, due to a combination, Joey. I'm sorry, with Joshua.
Oh, okay.
Because we are again. I think I talked about it at the beginning of the playthrough. The plan is because Joshua, I've said before, he really wants to be in the LP for 4. So we're gonna try and shoot it during one of the brief windows where he's in town this summer, and that just kind of means that unfortunately, we're going to wind up prioritizing his schedule over Aiden's schedule.
Agreed, for sure.
If we can get everybody here, we're gonna get everybody here. Even though our setup is built for 3 people, I'll figure it out. I'll make it work.
We'll be cozy. It'll be okay.
I'll set up a second mic, and one of us will sit over there. Probably what actually happens.
Okay.
But anyway, regardless, hopefully, you know, I don't know. I shouldn't say hopefully what will or won't be. One way or the other, Uncharted 4 is going to come out, and it's going to be a really, really good time, I promise. If like, I'm sure there are some people in the audience who are like, hopefully into watching these playthroughs and enjoying it, who may be like, well, the first 2 games were like, you know, kind of basic plot, especially the first one, kind of a basic plotline, but like fun and and 2 was really enjoyable and exciting, and this one was like on the cusp of being interesting. But like, trust me, 4 is like, especially in the story department, leaps and bounds above all the other games. And I don't say that like as a shot across the bow at 1 and 2 or even at this game. It's just that 4 has very different narrative objectives.
Okay.
And then I don't know if I've said this previously. Whether Aiden is in 4 or not, we will try and shoot Lost Legacy with myself, Joey, and Aiden, which is the Chloe spinoff.
Okay.
So because we'll try and shoot that too. Okay. And that's not going to be like a time crunch for while Joshua's here.
Yeah.
But I believe that's it. That's enough talking. This is a long final episode. I'm sure people will be happy with it anyway. I'm glad that I got so many wacky glitches in the playthrough, and also that I got throughout the whole. I don't know what was going on when Cutter was freaking out on the tower in Syria. At
That
the
was
beginning of
good.
today.
I kind of wish you'd.
I wish I hadn't. I regretted it when I reset it. I agree, but I was afraid that the cutscene would end and I wouldn't be able to get it normal. But anyway, that's it. I'm done. I'm bad at outros. We all know this at this point. Bye, everybody. See you in Uncharted 4.
Eat your vegetables.
Drink water.
But not Trey Swift.
not
place with hallucinogenic agents.
Don't drink that water. Don't drink the Costco hot dog water.
And don't drink the gamer girl bath water.
Oh God.
And that's the more you know.
Just close out the video
Yeah,
already.
that's absolutely the end.
I think that's right.
Oh, hold on.
No, I was telling them that.
Oh.
I was telling them to just exit.